He is a Nobel Prize winner, freedom fighter, and former president of South Africa. After 27 years of imprisonment, Nelson Mandela sat down with ghostwriter Richard Stengel to begin working on his memoir. The two became close friends, and that memoir would become a bestseller around the world. Stengel was the managing editor of Time magazine a few years back. He also served as President Obama's Undersecretary of State for Public Diplomacy and Public Affairs from 2014 to 2016.
Now a new podcast reveals never-before-heard audio from those interview sessions with Nelson Mandela. It's called Mandela, The Lost Tapes, and Richard Stengel joins us live. Richard, thanks for being with us.
Great to be with you.
First, walk us through how you got selected by Nelson Mandela to be his ghostwriter.
Well, that was a very lucky day. It was 1992. I had previously written a book about South Africa called January Sun, and the publisher, an American publisher called Little Brown, was looking for an American journalist to work with Mandela, and he had read my book, and he called me one morning and made me the proverbial offer you couldn't refuse.
So tell us about these lost tapes that are now a podcast. Where were those tapes all these years?
So I made about 70 hours of tapes with Mandela in 1992 and 93, and I immediately had them transcribed and wanted to work on the manuscript from the transcriptions. And I just had them in a plexiglass box in my basement for all of those years. And then in 2010, the Mandela Foundation, which owns the tapes, asked me to bring the tapes with me to give them over to the foundation in 2010 and hand them to Mandela, which I did do, and they've had them ever since.
What will people hear and something that I'm sure you hear in his voice that doesn't translate in the written word? Give us an idea of what some people might be surprised to hear.
Well, Robin, because this was 93 and it's long before even digital tape recorders, you hear all of the ambient noise. You hear him ask me whether I want to have sugar in my tea and then express surprise when I don't. And you hear him answer the phone and talk to aides, and you get a sense of his incredible graciousness. I mean, he was an African aristocrat, and the kind of warmth and sunniness that he had in terms of his personality, you can't really convey that in a book. And you hear that. For so many years, it was only just the two of us in that room, and now anybody who listens to the tapes can be in that room with us.
Did you get a sense of it's amazing he was as calm as he was after enduring what he endured, and you say he never talked about his personal life much.
Well, the reason he was so calm and his temperament was so even, I think, was because of those 27 years in prison, where he learned incredible self-discipline and self-control. And again, you have to remember he was running for, that's Robben Island that you're looking at there, where he was for many of those years. So, and you also have to remember he was running for president in the first democratic election in South Africa's history. So he didn't really want to talk about too many personal things. I mean, he was married once before and got divorced, and you hear me asking him questions about that and him saying, no, I don't really want to talk about that. So you get a sense of what it's like to negotiate with Nelson Mandela too.
Yeah, I mean, so much has been written about him over the years. Can you maybe give one or two examples of something about his life that we might learn in these new tapes?
Well, he joined the ANC, which was the African National Congress, Africa's oldest liberation movement, and it was a nonviolent movement. But after being the victim of so much white supremacist hatred and violence, he made a decision, look, we can't stick with this nonviolence anymore. It's just a tactic, not a principle. And when a tactic doesn't work, he says, you abandon it. So he became the first head of the military wing of the ANC. We think of Mandela as this kindly, white-haired, grandfatherly figure. He was that, but he was also a democratic revolutionary that brought democracy to more people than almost anybody else in world history.
Do you believe younger generations have an appreciation for who he was and what he did?
You know, South Africa is a very, very young country. A third of the population has been born since he retired from the presidency. So one of the reasons I want to have this out there and want it to be listened to in South Africa is so people have a sense of what he was like and his, imperturbable integrity, at a time that South Africa is facing a lot of challenges to its own democracy. So I hope young people listen to it and learn about him.
So would you say that his reputation as it is today is controversial by any means?
Well, he's like a saint. there. I mean, there's more statues of Nelson Mandela in South Africa than there are George Washington in America. And so, but he's a little bit like a statue. So I tried to bring him alive. You hear him as a human being. You hear him, someone who made very, very difficult choices in his life, always focusing on democracy and freedom for his people. And he did achieve that.
Well, for more, you can check out Mandela, The Lost Tapes. It's on audible.com, and Richard is on all social media. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you so much.